not tried to tell us what you were going to do. Dan, that's what we're missing in this country. Representatives to listen to the people in their district. The people that matter are here. That's it, not up there. So that's what I'm going to do is represent the folks here. We're going to create jobs. I'll be a good salesman for the district. I'm naive enough to believe, Dan, that we can bring jobs back here by cutting taxes and getting people back to work.
Stephen Fincher is with us. We're going to pull back your phone calls. We're going to talk with Stephen. We're going to take those. One of your ads says, speaking of on Ryan Kirkland, says, quoting Ryan, saying, I'll reach across the aisle to try to work with Democrats. You cannot stonewall the other party, end quote, Ryan Kirkland. If you make it there to Washington, will you work across the aisle with Democrats if that's what it means to pass legislation?
Dan, we have to stop President Obama and Speaker Pelosi. If they want to reach across the aisle and work with the Republicans, that's fine. Conservatives, that's fine. But no, sir, I'm not going to reach across the aisle and work with Nancy Pelosi, Steny Hoyer, Barack Obama. Yesterday, Steny Hoyer started talking about, well, now we might have to raise taxes on the middle class. The Bush tax cuts are going to expire, Dan, at the end of this year. It will be the largest tax increase in U.S. history, $2.4 trillion, if we allow that to happen. Do you think that's going to help our economy recover? No, absolutely not. So we have to reinstate the Bush tax cuts. Again, I have to do what's best for the folks in this district. But I think what's best for the folks in this district is not reaching across the aisle with President Obama and Speaker Pelosi.
Well, Stephen, I guess the obvious follow-up question to that is, if it means passing legislation to benefit the folks back here in West Tennessee, will you reach across the aisle to work with Democrats? And if the Democrats have majority, does that mean if you go to Washington, you're not going to get anything done if you want to work across the aisle, reach across the aisle?
No, Dan, what we have to do, in my opinion, is what we started out to do last July, is we need to stop President Obama and Speaker Pelosi from taking our country too far to the left. They're taking us way, way far to the left.
You want to take us to the middle?
Well, we need to stop Obama and Pelosi. Bring back the true conservative message, Dan, of cutting taxes, less government, let the states get back to the Constitution, states' rights, people's rights. And if we would get back on those principles, I think we'd be better off for it.
Stephen Fincher is with us here on the program. Stephen, a conservative for Congress. And Stephen, you can visit his website, StephenFincher.com. One of the reasons why, Stephen, that we're probably to see with our economy is going to war and slashing taxes at the same time, which Bush did. That's a recipe for disaster. Being a fiscal conservative as I am, I was concerned about that in the beginning, of course, and we've seen what that come to fruition. Do you think it's a good idea to cut taxes while we're still not only at war in Iraq, but we're at war in Afghanistan as well?
Well, Dan, number one, on the war, we have to protect this country, and we have to stand up to enemies here and abroad. And, we have the greatest military in the world, and we can stand and do our part. We need to stand with Israel. We need to back them up. And cutting taxes is the way we can increase revenue and get this country moving again. We're spending out of control, Dan. That's what we're doing. We're raising our deficit, our debt ceiling. We just keep extending it. We need accountability. We need a balanced budget amendment. We need to stop spending all of this wasted earmarks and pork and get back to the basics.
Stephen Fincher's here. We'll come right back. We'll take your phone calls. We've got a full bank standing by.